Mind Gap Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. I'm Justin, and if you're watching this, you'll notice that the person sitting next to me virtually is not Doug Cochran. Doug was on a road trip and could not figure out how to stop the car. So he's currently driving somewhere across country in a car that won't stop. Hopefully we'll have him back next week. But
most likely a Tesla.
Most likely a Tesla. Let's not lie. Sitting in the ever witty, the ever wonderful Mr. Slotty, it's Seth. Oh,
Thank you,
what?
Justin.
I forgot. I usually don't have this hooked up, but I do today. Everybody, it's Seth.
There we are.
Welcome back, buddy.
It's been a long time. I have never actually been a Doug facsimile. I've been a you facsimile.
Yes, you have. That's true. That's true. When Doug and I were discussing,
first time playing Doug.
Well, so far you're nailing it. All right, you've got him beat in the hair game. That's for sure.
Yeah. Just I even shaved it recently too, just so that way it wouldn't be that jarring to the viewers.
Exactly. You want just a little bit of a difference.
Like when Noah comes on, that's too much hair.
So
much hair.
Yeah. If Noah was sitting in Doug's stead, oh my God, that would be like at least I've got a little bit. So Noah's it's a lot, but with Doug to Noah, that would be too much. Yeah. We'd lose viewers.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. The shock they would go through.
So the last time that you were on was 100 episodes to the episode. It was episode 406. This is 506.
Joke. 100 episodes later. Okay, so that's my thing. I come around every 100 episodes or so.
Every 100 episodes, Slotty comes on back.
Yeah.
That was July 28th, 2023. That I looked it up and I'm like, that's a mind fuck. That was so long ago.
What a different world.
Right?
Yeah.
Boy. Yeah.
There's hope then. 2 years later, just completely gone.
2 years later, gone. And the world is just gray and just sad.
Yeah.
Super. Ugh. So what have you been doing? Oh, you know what? Hold on. Actually, I wanted to say the topic for when you were on, I thought this was just chef's kiss. It was called AI is Getting Dumber. And you and Doug chatted about how recent studies have shown that ChatGPT has gotten dumber and why it's a terrible idea for corporations to use AI chatbots to replace humans right now. Again, how much has changed in 2 years?
Just been reading the study by MIT about how 95% of those chatbots and AI initiatives put in by corporations have failed.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say that they've done well.
No, 95% have failed. We are reaching the end game.
All right, hold on. We're going to deviate on this for a minute. You got to talk to me about a little bit of this. Like what? So you're saying we're reaching the end game. Are you talking about like everyone's adaptation?
The bubble is about to burst. Like
you think really
AI,
you think so?
Which by the way, I'm a purist in this. I call them LLMs. I stick to that because they are not artificial intelligence. They are large language models, and there's a very big difference. AI is marketing, and all of this thing was built upon marketing. As a marketer, I know this.
Okay.
And so it's all built upon marketing. You're sold these dreams of what it can do, what it could do, but it literally can't do most of what you're being told. And a lot of people, we've posted things back and forth in Discord about like the dystopian kind of things that are happening, people using it as therapy and girlfriends and all of that. It's just not suited for much that it's being sold as, and that's why it's all failing. That because most people don't know how to fucking use it is the other thing. And it's wildly frustrating that it's just being shoved down everybody's throat. It's like, oh, it's amazing. You have to, like, I came out of a company where it's like, you have to use it.
Sure.
If you're not using it, you're stupid. And I'm like, okay, why am I stupid if I use the lying machine? And in order to use it, I have to so carefully craft every little bit of my prompt and multiple times just so it won't lie to me.
Sure. Yeah.
Just so I know it won't lie to me. And even then, I don't know whether I trust it. Either way, the whole thing is this just giant marketing ploy. What has it made better? Can anybody point to one thing it's actually made better?
Resumes are or cover letters rather, a lot easier to write.
Right. And you know what? That's true because nobody read that
thing.
shit anyway. So just having a robot fucking print it out for you, much nicer. That is so true. I will say, it did make something terrible and useless less terrible and useless.
But no, it's just as useless, but just less terrible.
Actually, no,
less terrible of an experience.
Absolutely, just as useless. You're right. Just as useless, just
user.
not as terrible.
So you're saying that there are, based on what you're reading, you believe your hypothesis, the slotty hypothesis, is that the AI bubble is about to burst. What is that in your estimation?
I mean, think about the tech bubble, right? Like they are dumping money in this thing, like it's
an ungodly amount.
Yes, like it's a hunger that can never be sated. There are all these AI startups coming out. Like quite literally, if you are launching a product and you don't have AI in it, like people are like, I don't even know if this is real. It's just eventually like they're going to reach that point where it's like shit. There is no ROI. There's no return on investment from this shit.
Sure.
Maybe we just go back to doing things the way we did. If we're gonna like, maybe I can make a business that doesn't have AI as some part of it.
Yeah.
Because it's not that people replacer. It can't do what people think it can do. And so everybody who's fired half their staff yesterday and saved $6,000 a month or whatever the hell they say because they replace them with AI, either the business fails or they have to rehire everybody. Usually it's the business fails because that's a pretty big move to fire most of your staff.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you fail. And so eventually the hype will wear off. The money will stop once enough of them really realize that like there isn't any way to milk this any more than we have. The milking it is all happening in the selling of it. The people who go to use it aren't getting anything from the cow.
Yeah.
The cow is just the thing, and everybody who buys it is getting milked.
So do you think true AI is attainable? Is that something, because you made the distinction between LLM and AI.
Timeline.
Yeah.
It's just not where we're at.
So this is basically just, I learned something, I regurgitate, I don't have any, it's not, like you said, it's not doing what people think it's doing. It's not solving, it's not coming up with brand new.
You fed me all of the shit of the world, and I will use probability to put words together in a sequence that seems like it might be correct.
Right.
And sometimes I even am.
I think what I've seen, have you watched this season of South Park at all? Current season?
I want to,
current season,
but I haven't.
I would strongly recommend getting on the bandwagon. I haven't watched it in years and years and years. And this season has brought me back into the fold. And I'm like, oh yeah, they're still kicking. They're still going strong. But there's Stan's dad is he has like this like pseudo affair with ChatGPT. And it's funny because I think one of
that is a Randy Marsh thing.
It's wonderful, right? Like, so one of the things from a corporate standpoint, you don't encounter this as much, but from a individual user standpoint, I think one of the reasons that people do get lost in the sauce, like you said, is that like what he experienced, it's always, every time I've used it, it's what a great idea. That's such a cool prompt. What a fun this and that. So I'm like, oh, it is kind of fun. That's all right, cool. Yeah, maybe this is a good idea. Let's follow this usually more.
You're totally right to call me a liar. I did lie. Here.
So you're the fact.
Let me try again. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like, that's how most of my conversations go. It's like, so when you said this, that is, what is that based upon? That is nonsense. Why did you say that? You're totally right. I lied. You got me.
You got me.
Let me try it again.
You're so smart. Really good.
Damn, you're sharp. Yeah. You can't flatter me, robot.
It's funny though, because I have recently, because my wife will send me all the articles about how much water usage it's, like fresh water is getting just like
huge
resource a rapid volume, and the resources that are being dumped, both natural and monetary resources that are being dumped into these things. But the problem is, and I think this is what you were just talking about too, is that my current day job they want everyone to start adopting. They're like, okay, we have, our thing is Claude AI, and we're going all in on that. I think that's what
we picked this model for
exactly, yeah,
reasons.
So
exactly
for reasons, exactly, yeah. Competitors, et cetera, contracts, et cetera. Someone got paid off, et cetera. Now we use this, so we're being forced to use it, on a daily basis. And I am just kind of curious, I think everything like this does have its own bubble, right? And whether or not it bursts in a very big way or in kind of a little like fart in the wind, and you don't really no one remembers it was even around for a while, like the Labubu craze. That's going to be a fart in the wind. Eventually, they'll just be like, what were those things that for a short
ugly
period of
little
time?
shit dolls that we paid too much money for? It was a Beanie Baby? No,
that wasn't it.
No,
it has teeth. I think it has teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whether or not it bursts in a big way or a teeny little way, I
think this is a big way.
I think this is going to be a big way.
I think this is just because of how much money's tied up in it. Because of how many billions of dollars, like all these investment firms and everything, just dumping cash into this stuff, like it's nobody's business. What's one of the things I hate most is right now, like for my job, I work in SEO, so I work in search engine optimization, and so everyone's like been panicking, like AI is gonna ruin everything. Google's gone. Forget Google. It's over. Dead. Nobody uses Google anymore. It's all chat.
Gone. All right.
Isn't that first off horse shit?
Yeah.
And then so now it's like, okay, well, everyone's like, how can you get me to show up on ChatGPT? And the problem is nobody fucking knows because there's no data. Like ChatGPT isn't going to show you, like if you own a website, ChatGPT isn't going to show you, like, hey, you showed up this many times on ChatGPT, and when you showed up, people were asking these kinds of questions about you. So all these little businesses popped up of trying to track it. All they fucking do is just use an API, and they just ask ChatGPT 1,000 questions a day, or 1,000 questions about your brand, and then see when you show up. Except that's completely fucking flawed because people don't actually use ChatGPT that way. They have little conversations with it, and these models, they're like personalized, so you're never ever gonna crack. So, but they're charging like insane amounts of money just to access their fake data.
That's wild. So is the idea to train that personalized, like if I hired that company to do that, like they would be training that specific like instance or that section of the model to report back on me, or is it just how
they're trying to show you an idea of what like an unbiased model might say if you asked it a question about like the thing you do?
Got it.
Like the thing your business does, like
video production in Chicago, 2 East 8th Productions, or something like that.
Yeah. Yes, and they're just like, well, yeah, you showed up 9 times out of 10 when people typed in questions that had this phrase in it, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a flawed methodology. They're charging ass loads of money to access their flawed data. And it's just like a million little cottage industries that popped up around it. It's a house of cards. And once people realize that the main thing underpinning it all is kind of trash, it's like it's like it's okay for like doing certain things. It's just like kind of garbage at most of the shit that you promised it would do. And so, when that is found out, I think, then it's like, like all these other things that started to like build up upon it come falling down with it. And those, it's weird how like when it first came out, people were like, oh yeah, it's going to replace all these people's jobs. And then it started doing that. And then it's like, now it's going to just lose a bunch more people of their jobs who like built their livelihoods upon it.
Right. Well, that's
my prediction. It hasn't happened, but that's my prediction.
But what's interesting, what I will be interested to see is that typically, because throughout the years, we have industries come, industries go, like certain jobs just based off of in the last 2 years, the amount, like just looking back at this and saying like in episode 406, you guys were talking about this, how far this has come in such a short amount of time. So if you look at the normal progression of industry, of technology, of whatever, over the course of the years, like people manually putting together cars has went to assembly lines where people are like, so like, AI hasn't necessarily replaced it, but the people are now, monitoring the robots that are putting it together. Right. So like certain certain jobs do just by nature of the natural course of evolution, they do go away and they typically don't come back. If the AI bubble bursts and all of these things that were like built upon the flaming pile of AI after the rubble, stops smoldering, those jobs, that AI originally took, will those come back, or will we have to adapt? Will something else rise up like a phoenix to take its place? What do you? What do you
this
think
is where we get into like my skepticism, which is I think a lot of these places are just looking for a reason to fire people, looking for a reason to cut costs, and like, oh, if I can tell them that this robot's doing what happened is like, well, I guess we didn't need it all that much anyway. When the robot can't do the job that well, or when it fails far more often than the human does. Now, there is a very, I think in my mind, minor chance that they get their shit together and they do something that can do something novel, something unique. Because at this point, all it can do is copy. It can't go beyond the bounds of human knowledge. It just can synthesize it super well. If they can ever do that, and then it gets applied to something actually fucking useful, like medical advances, or something that may their whole thing at the beginning, and this is what's so sad about it to me, is like their whole thing is like they wanted to make humanity better. They wanted to improve humanity, and then over time, as the money poured in, that changed.
Bastardized.
To be
perverted.
Yeah, to not it's not about really making humanity better. It's like, well, we do have shareholders, so we do need to make sure that they get enriched.
Right.
That's first. Now, second, if we get to it, we would maybe like to make some things better. No promises, but it does have to come second.
Right.
We do have to monetize this as fast as possible.
Exactly. And stay ahead of the competition. And,
it's first, like, we're never going to let this be used for weaponry, for military purposes. Now, it's like, they did offer us quite a bit of money.
Right.
And so we would be remiss if we did.
Exactly. The shareholders would be very happy.
Yeah. And in this country, we do have a fiduciary responsibility to them. So, got to do it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Got to do it. We're making bombs now.
What needs to happen is every 100 episodes, we need to have you back on to talk about the state of AI.
You know what? Next 100 episodes, I hope I'm pissing on its grave.
Oh man, that'd be something. If we could come back and point to this episode and be like,
I called
back in 2025, 2025, Mr. Slotty predicted the downfall of AI. So we're gonna have Slotty Damas come back on.
Put it on the books. 100 episodes from now. Yep, coming back to hopefully be presiding over the funeral of AI.
I fucking love it. Well, look, listeners, viewers, if you want to jump into debates like this, you can. You can join us on Discord.
Yeah,
this kind of shit goes down all the time in Discord. There's a bunch of different channels that you can, if you're into D&D talk, you can jump in there. If you're into book talk, if you're into just memes, and you want to take on our reigning meme champion, who is sitting with me right now,
primary instigator right here.
Go ahead and jump on there and start talking nerdy with us. We love to hear it. We love to have you join the community. We've got a really, really fun little community there. Mind Gap on all social medias, on YouTube. Go ahead and give us a follow on YouTube. We want to get those follower numbers up. And then on Redbubble, you can find the Mind Gap store and grab yourself a little bit of merch. Weather's going to get cold pretty soon. You know what you would look good in? A sweater or a hat. Go grab one of those, and then send a picture in the Discord. I think that would be a good way to show how into us you are, because we're into you. And I'm not even just saying that. Look, when AI does fall, Seth, okay, we might have to figure out how to survive, right? We could throw us into a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Right. If things go too far and we let this thing, start taking over too much, right? Like it could be running our power grids in a year.
It could be. Yeah. Look at the issues Texas has with their power already, albeit that's Texas. But
they chose that problem.
But we could, we could find ourselves in a situation where we have to ask ourselves, would we survive this? Would you survive this? So we thought in today's episode we would take a look at different real world and fictional scenarios, and Seth and I would figure out how we would survive these scenarios if we could survive them, and how we might do that. Okay, so I want to start off.
This
with,
seems like a topic area though that was built for practical Doug.
Oh,
so
very much.
In lieu of practical Doug, I will introduce pragmatic Seth.
Ooh, I like this. I'm into
Doug,
this character.
Pragmatic Seth, and that'll be the closest I'll get to practical Doug.
I love this. So again, really, really driving home the fact that you are sitting in for Doug. You're taking on.
Right. I'm sitting in the chair.
Pragmatic Seth. I like this. And you also have a similar background as he has with these neon colors.
You know what? That's what I thought. I'm like, hey, I'm just up here trying to be the man.
I'm just saying, taking a shot. You're taking a shot at the throne, and I like this. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Seth.
Exactly.
So let's go with a few. We're going to go through a few real world hazards. Then we're going to jump into the fun fictional hazards, because I think that's where things are going to get silly. So
that's where I'll have. Yeah.
Let's take a look at some one call. Let's do this. Bear encounter. You're hiking, right? All of a sudden you come across a bear. Do you think, first and foremost, you could survive this? A bear encounter in the wild.
So first off, I have to ask, what kind of bear?
Let's talk. We're talking
black bear. We're talking your
grizzly
standard bear, polar bear.
Let's talk standard black bear, right?
Black bear. Okay.
Yeah. So
you're in like black bear on its hind legs is between like 5 and 6 feet tall.
I love that you know this off the bat.
And so these bears are. I'm going to rate my ability to survive a black bear encounter as higher. Okay. Because these bears are not quite as imposing, and they are by their nature they're more skittish. They're not trying to get in a tussle.
They're not coming at you.
Right. They're to them, like they're apex predators, sure. But everything in their world everything is smaller. We rival their size in many ways. At least I do. And so I could, one of the things they say to be big, loud, and scary, right? Mm-hmm. That's for black bears specifically, I think. The internet can go ahead and take me to town on this. But
we could ask
I would
AI
be black bear, right? And get lied to. So I would be big and imposing and loud, and I think that might scare the bear off, and I think I have a better chance of surviving that. Now, I know I can't outrun any species of bear.
Sure, yes.
But I think I could at the very least intimidate. I would roll for intimidation on the black bear.
Okay.
Grizzly bear, much lower. That is the play dead bear.
and hope to God.
Right. Then at that point, yes, you were just at the mercy of that age-old wisdom of play dead. Yeah. And if that works, great, you live. If it doesn't, then you go from playing to
right.
You go from a LARP to live action dead.
Yeah, exactly. What about a Kodiak bear, Seth? What if we're going to go with the big daddy bear?
Okay. I would give it grizzly rules and say low chance of survival. I'm still playing dead.
Got it. Okay. So you wouldn't try to offer
polar bear.
Something
I'm just fucked. You just die.
That's true.
Polar bear, you just die. You are a tasty morsel in a land without those.
Exactly. You're
an easy meal that day.
Doesn't matter what you're offering that thing. It's like, no, you.
Yeah.
You, tonight.
Ooh.
You.
I don't even have to swim for you.
Yeah.
This is great.
This is great. On your hike,
seal sized.
What's the dumbest thing that you have in your backpack that would not help?
God, like.
I'm guessing it's like a switch.
No, I never bring any. I'm very pragmatic when I pack.
So you wouldn't be caught off guard is the thing.
No, I've been backpacking, and the worst thing I ever took was that I always I regretted it so heavily. I took a 6-pound hatchet that I'd never used once, and I'm like, great. I just carried this around for 4 days in the woods, and I didn't even use this fucker. That was heaviness I didn't need.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was in my mind the most impractical thing was a hatchet I didn't use. But we've all, if you've read Gary Paulson's The Hatchet.
Oh my God.
If you're without it though, if you're out, you don't survive if you're without.
Exactly. Yeah. And look, to anyone out there who's like, well, I just pull out that hatchet and I'd start swinging. Good luck. I'll just say good luck.
Yeah, brown bear, maybe, or black bear,
Maybe.
maybe. Brown bear, grizzly bear, you know. You can. Here's the. Can you wound it enough? I don't know. Can you get in a lucky shot on the snout?
Maybe.
If you can get a
Or
lucky
you're just
shot,
going to
can you
piss it
take
off.
out an eye?
Right.
But again,
Because the one thing I
it's
learned
just
is that if you get into a bar fight, you punch
one
someone
swipe
square in
with
the
the
nose,
claw.
and they just like shake it off, you're fucked.
You're done.
So hopefully
Yeah.
you're not just going to hit this thing, tickle its nose, and now it's coming after you. If you're going to take a swipe, you're like
it's got it's got two on either side that are swinging hard.
Right.
If either one catches you, bye face.
Like Seth's doing with Doug right now. If you're taking a shot at the throne, you better not miss.
Better not miss. Exactly.
That's right. Let's jump into trapped in an elevator. Have you ever had this happen to you? Even
No,
for a short
thankfully.
period of time?
No.
I never had it happen to me. When I at college in our dorm, one of my roommates got stuck in an elevator at 2 East 8th. He got stuck in an elevator, and they had to do the thing where they pried the door open and they had him crawl out. And anyone of our generation, the first thing you go to is Final Destination shit. And he's like, I don't think I want to do this. You get the elevator moving, and then I'll get out. They're like, no, you have to come out now. And so he's like, nope, I don't want to do this. Eventually they coaxed him out, but he was very adamant. He did not want to get out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I haven't ever been in that situation. And it is like, so I low to mid-grade claustrophobia. I don't know. I've never put it to the full test because I stay out of situations like that. Now that's a situation like I ride in elevators. Okay, it's not like I can say like, oh, look, I'll never ride in an elevator just in case. I'm not that silly about it.
You don't go the cave crawlers through those little veins?
No.
You know? Okay.
No, yeah, like that right there. That is true fear. The spelunking and no, thank you.
Yeah.
Especially like add scuba to it. Fuck right off.
Fuck that.
Fuck right off. So yeah, never been in that situation. I would go. I don't know. There would be an amount of time where it would really start to get to me.
Sure. Yeah.
But you know, the I think the thing I would, you know, if I'm by myself, I crack sooner. If there's someone around there who I have to like keep chill in front of, then I crack less soon.
Less sooner. It's a later crack.
It's a later crack, but you know, enough time I will crack, and it will, you know, the panic will rise up and all that kind of stuff.
I feel like this one is a slightly flawed because it's not typically you don't have to survive in something like this. You're not there
if
for
it turns into a survival
time.
situation, you're kind of fucked because you probably didn't come into that unless you just went grocery shopping and you're bringing your groceries up in the elevator. You're probably not well supplied.
Now the question is, if it does get to that point, I guess where we need to take this to is, do you pop the lid off like you've seen in every movie?
Absolutely.
And try to get out of there and
I try to pop the top. I try to pry the door. Oh yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's what. Yeah, I feel like I first and foremost to pass the time, you try to start playing improv with everyone in there, because that's the quickest way to make friends, is to do an unsolicited improv show, a one-man improv show for everyone. So I think that's how you establish dominance first off.
Okay.
Right.
Be the
You're
entertainer.
doing that. And everyone's like, okay, he's obviously the leader. And then you got to start planning. And I think you send the weakest
I hope I can
one.
distract people from the fact that I'm farting way too much in this elevator.
Way too much. Yeah. I designated that corner the P corner. That's my corner.
I just came up from the Mexican restaurant. Before I got in here, we are all in for a trip.
I think I would eventually pop the top and see if I could, because I'm just, as Doug knows this about me very well. I've got a general impish curiosity about getting into places I'm not supposed to be, and so if the minute that elevator stopped, I say I would eventually get there, it would be the first thing I would do. I wouldn't even hit the call button. I'd be like, well, we should probably see if this little hatch takes us anywhere, right? You want to give me a leg up? And
I'd be the guy be like, no, I'm gonna hit the call button. Like, you're welcome. Go check it out. Let me see what you see. But I'm going to go ahead and hit the call button here. I'm going to see if there's a little phone in here, whatever the hell else. Now, if I get nothing from that, if like it's, you know, line's dead or whatever, then that panic starts to rise. Like, oh shit, did something bigger happen? Then it's like, yeah, let's get up there. Then if I have to climb those cables up, oh no, the upper body strength is not there for that. Cannot haul this very far. Like, I'm like, I always wonder, like, how much will adrenaline carry me?
I've wondered the same thing. Genuinely, yeah.
how much could I overcome if adrenaline was there?
Right.
I'm just really curious to know. I don't have any. I have no reference points though.
Yeah.
I have lived a charmed life where adrenaline has never really needed to come in that way.
All right, let's go to the last real life one that we'll do here, a massive blackout. This is going back, tying it into the AI thing. Let's say our power grids are being run by the LLMs, which is weird that a power grid is being run by that, and it's just a right, just like Basher in the Ocean's 11 movie, right? A little pinch, and the whole fucking Vegas is out. Okay, so what are we doing? And in this, right? It's not coming on for a while. We've lost everything. It's a full blackout. Communications are down, and people are reverting to their more primal instincts. What are you doing to survive there, Seth? Are you staying inside? Are you making a run for it? Are you teaming up?
Depends on the season, first and foremost.
Good call. Very good call.
So if it's winter, staying inside. Now, obviously, there's the question, because I've toyed, I've been a homeowner for some years. I've toyed with the idea of getting a standby generator, getting a whole house generator. There are going to be people they're going to be sitting pretty for a little while. In this scenario, we'll say I didn't have one. But either way, if it's winter, staying inside. If it's summer, probably also staying inside.
I sweat.
Spring and fall.
Sweat, yeah.
Now there might be some foraging that happens, or some like going around. Like one thing that's actually kind of fun is like you ever walked around a town where like the whole town the power went out and it's just dark and quiet. No. I had the opportunity to do that like 12, 13 years ago.
All right.
And it was fascinating. Like this town that like cars are always driving around, lights were on, there's bars nearby, everything was dark for hours. Eventually, you just emerge. It's dead silent. Just walk the empty, lightless streets. It's kind of it's an interesting feeling. There was no fear because it's like, lights are.
This is temporary. Yeah.
Right. But so that would probably happen. But yeah, as far as survival goes, it would quickly turn into the water situation. The water situation is the most important. So it's going to be finding water. I'm lucky enough I have water sources near me, and I know where they are. So I could go and get poisoned by them.
I thought you were going to say you have drums of water buried in your property.
So one of my goals, and this is a real life goal that I want to have, is I'm going to get new gutters on the house here soon. And I'm going to have a rain catchment system installed with the gutters. Okay. So I'm going to have potable water stored in barrels that comes from the gutters. I'll use it to like water the garden.
Oh, yes,
or
okay.
In case
you're
of
not talking about like immediate drinking, like you talk about like
right.
This would
there
have to
need
be
to
run
some
through
kind of filtration.
Got it. Yes, okay.
But yeah,
I have a rain barrel, and
system.
The water that comes out of it is fucking disgusting.
Right. Yeah. What you would expect. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna set up the rain catchment system. Like here's the thing. All of my goals for like what I want to do are revolve around planning for this scenario. I'm 0% of the way there.
But damn it, I've thought of it.
But damn it, I have thought of it. And once I get around to some of this stuff, that's what I'm prepping for, is that scenario, the grid going down.
Yeah, I like that. See, I would probably, again, I'd stay inside as much as possible. If I had to do runs, it would be, obviously local as I could first. I think what I would avoid doing though, I would avoid team ups. Like I'm going to find one or two people that I trust in my neighborhood, and that's going to be it. We're not doing this giant, we're going to recreate. It's just, we live like, who's running this pack? Because the bigger the pack
Walking
gets,
Dead, the
bigger the pack gets, the more that power plays start to happen, and you start to get into some shit. So if we're in this for the long term, I'm keeping it.
Now, do I submit to the big pack when they come to? Yes, of course.
You wouldn't try to resist or run. You would submit.
I mean, it depends on what they're doing.
Right.
If they're the murdery, rapey sort, they're like, hey, you got to murder and rape if you want to be part of the gang. I'm like, okay.
What if they all rolled up and they had MAGA hats on?
I mean, at this point,
the sigh.
I'd be like, why are you still wearing that hat? That thing doesn't even exist. We can't even make America bright again. Like, we can't even.
Well done. Well done.
We can't even make America online again. So, as long as they're not murdering and raping, I can, and it increases and I believe that it increases my family's chance of survival.
Sure.
Then I'm in.
So, I like the fact that this hypothetical situation seems to be giving you such anxiety right now. You're like, man.
Yeah, because I think my neighbors, most of them
Sure.
are towards that shade.
Yeah.
None of them wear the hat. So there is a guy who drives past my house in his truck, and he has no fewer than 3 flags flying behind it at all times.
Right.
You got the blue line, you got the MAGA, and you got the American flag.
Yeah.
That's your classic trifecta right there of I'm not going to get along with that person.
I'm surprised that they haven't come up with one. You know how like the LGBTQIA plus has their that all-encompassing flag that you see flying around. I'm very surprised that they on that side have not made their all-encompassing flag. I feel like that's a you could make a lot of money.
More likely to make. I mean, I'm sure. Listen,
make a lot of money off them.
And that's why I think they probably have.
Oh, somebody has. We're just not plugged in enough to know about it.
We're not plugged into it. Yeah, we're not on Truth Social where they're being hawked.
The My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell's going. If you like my pillows, you're gonna love my flags. What'd you say? Flags with an L.
Flag people. These are people who want to be sold flags and hats. I would be just as surprised if they didn't have a flag. So they'd have a flag. Here's all the things that I stand for, and then another flag. Here's all the people I hate.
It's like the anti-LGBTQIA plus. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, these are a flag for all the
people.
It's a photo
negative of that. Yeah,
right.
I like this. All right, let's jump into some fictional hazards because these are the fun ones here. I want to jump. And you let me know. I sent you this list. Let me know if any one of these jumps out at you. But I think the first one I want to do is the Pennywise in the store upgrade.
Fuck that shit. I hate
clowns. I have been very. I always think with something like Pennywise or with Freddy Krueger or something like that. Freddy Krueger, not so much. He can just straight up murder you. But like Pennywise, he feeds off fear. So if you're not afraid, you start to take the power away from him. As like the kids. Towards the end of the first film, were laughing at him. They were like punching him. They were beating him. They were making fun of him, and he was shrinking. He was losing his power. So I would think that if you see something like that, you're just like, it's that easy to just not, to not give in to it. To survive the encounter, you just laugh.
Unfortunately for me, clowns are tap into a fear I already possess.
You're a clown, the clown fear.
Yeah,
huh?
All right. And coincidentally, I believe strongly that it stems from when I was 5 years old. My grandmother was watching me while my parents went out to dinner or some shit like that, and Stephen King's It came on TV. It was his first time premiering on TV with limited commercial interruptions, and so she wanted to watch it. Yeah, she wanted to watch it, and this is only one TV.
Right.
They didn't have a device, so I just had to sit there and watch it.
Interesting.
And at 5 years old, I think it scarred me on clowns. Do I run from clowns? No. But would a clown in the sewer? I'm sorry, he's got my fear. If fear is a vote, he's got my vote. Like it's, I'm categorically fucked in that situation. If he needs to feed on fear, he's got me.
I can understand. I can understand that. I can understand where that comes from. If you're first just seeing anyone in the sewer initially, you're like, why are you
walking
down
by the
there?
sewer and someone goes, "Hey kid," I'm like,
what?
Oh no.
What are you doing down there? Yeah. Then you look down there.
I don't know. Is there a distance that I need to be with it? Like, does he have like an aura that he can suck the fear out of? Because I will run very as far as I can away from him.
I say you got to be within a 5-foot radius of the sewer.
Then I will. Okay. So that's. So I'm going to leave his threatened zone. I will give him an opportunity attack. I will risk it. I will leave his threatened zone, and I will just, I would use the dash action.
All right.
To continually try and stay out of his Melee
and
range.
just hope that he doesn't grab your ankle on the way out. That would be the
Hope he
opportunity.
finds somebody else.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Hope he doesn't have like a legendary action, which, I mean, given the stats on him, because I've seen him go through, like throw down kind of things. He's got there is not much he cannot do. So this guy probably, if we're thinking, he probably does have legendary actions.
Yeah.
Is one of them a grapple? I hope not.
Look, I've seen him stretch himself. He's elongated himself.
Yeah, the shit under the bed. I don't like that. That was the thing that stuck with me. The shit under the bed. Oh,
yeah.
My parents were lucky actually that the bed that I had at home didn't have an under section.
Oh,
I had drawers going all the way around.
Smart.
So there wasn't like something to be hiding under here. No. It's just, can he fit in a drawer?
Do you have any siblings or no?
Yeah.
You do. Older?
I have a younger sister.
Younger sister. Okay. I'm just saying there's a missed opportunity. How much younger we talk?
3 years.
Okay. So, all right. Probably too young to pull this off then because she probably would have been just as scared by it. But this is a prime opportunity for an older brother to just open those drawers middle of the night, sneak in your room, open the drawers so that when you get up, the drawers are open and you're freaked the fuck out. Maybe put a little red nose in one of the drawers.
Yeah.
There's just so many opportunities there.
If I had like a 9-year-old brother.
Yeah.
That would have been,
The rabble rouser in me is like, that's a missed opportunity.
Right. Yeah. I was blessed by being first.
Hashtag blessed.
Yeah. Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed. I would say, yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I can see why that would have scarred you. I can see why your only possible way to survive this scenario would be to stay outside whatever radius is.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't like in the film, the book, whatever. Like, people are like, "Oh God, I can't leave this town." No, fuck, you can't.
Right.
And I will.
And I won't come back.
And I won't come back. No.
They're calling.
Let me know if this is all over, but until such a time as the sewers are clean, no, I'm out.
So something keeps calling us back to the city. Not me. I changed my number. Fuck that.
No, it doesn't.
What about, all right, let's go. How about zombie outbreak at the mall? How are you surviving a good old-fashioned zombie outbreak?
I mean, so yeah, that's probably the one I've spent the most time thinking about.
You all have. Everyone has.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much popular media. And the thing about it is, it's the one, it's like a problem that's really difficult to solve, but does have a solution. So it's like, it's not impossible. That's kind of the analogy for it, right? Like it seems like a really difficult problem, but it doesn't seem like it's insurmountable. Like you can solve it.
Well, it also depends on what kind of zombies we're talking about, right? Like if we're talking World War Z zombies, that's different.
Now, movie or book?
Ooh, well, movie. I've never read the book.
So I read the book, and that's where a lot of my research comes from. But so in the book, they're just kind of shamblers, right? There's no runners. There's no so they're just shamblers. They have they can survive underwater indefinitely. So like I think part of it in the book is like, they'll show up and like, if you're trying to escape to an island, well, if a cruise ship goes down with them, they'll just eventually walk on the seafloor until one of them, pops up on an island and
Got it.
Now you got to deal with it. But their advantage is their numbers.
Sure.
The overwhelming numbers, and then our disorganization.
Yeah.
So zombies in a mall, I mean, the last mall I was in was turning into a bit of a zombie itself. The number of stores were depleting, and but it still had a Dick's Sporting Goods. And so
that's a great store to have access to.
Exactly. Like, all right, cool. I can go to Dick's Sporting Goods. There's still, a Macy's with a kitchen section where I can get some knives. And like, we all know zombie rules too.
You're not
without. Destroy the brain,
right?
And you're good. Be quiet. Maybe and that's like where we can get into like all the different rules. Like, what senses do they have, and are they using to track? Do they track? Do they just go along until they hit something, and if it happens to be meat, they eat? So yeah, the most survivable. First off, you go to the Dick's Sporting Goods and you armor up. You put on layers because if the teeth break the skin, you're done.
You're
So
going.
you
You're
layer
going
up,
hockey
you get
pads,
yourself,
football. Yep.
yeah, whatever you got. You get yourself something long, be it a baseball bat or whatever. What I like about the baseball bat, very durable.
Very durable. Yep.
You can
It's
you can
weighted
get a
well.
lot of swings in.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you got to do the bludgeoning. It's a little bit tougher that way than if you go for like something that pierces.
Yep.
But there's not a lot of malls sell axes.
But there's nothing to say.
Contrary to what the 90s might tell you.
With a lot of dicks, though, they do have a fishing section, and inside fishing sections, they do have filleting knives. They do have like tactical, those like Leatherman type tools. They've got
those are really small blades. So you got to get really close,
right? But you could attach a bunch of those if you wanted to. We're talking about
to the bat.
You know what I mean? To the bat.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Yeah, so
duct tape.
Yeah,
duct tape it to the end, and now you could swing it, or you could use it as a
spear.
prodding,
Yeah. So
this episode brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods.
We're there for you in the zombie apocalypse. But yeah, so surviving the mall is one thing, and then it's like, well, all right, well, once I get out of the mall, what happens then?
That's a whole nother bag.
Right, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. But then, it's like, okay, I've played enough video games about this.
Right. Well, I feel like the mall
I
too
survive a little bit.
I feel like the mall too. I do like my chances in a zombie apocalypse for surviving, because we've had that when Walking Dead first came on. All of us had the debate. Where would you be? What would you do?
Mm-hmm.
How long would you survive? I don't think I would survive indefinitely. I have a shelf life, but I do think I'm making it further than
I think I get to
say.
season 3.
At least season 3. I was thinking season 4 or 5, somewhere in there. But I think with the mall, the other advantage you have is you can create blockades, and you can funnel when you need to, right? With how the aisles are set up, with how the different escalate, like you can maneuver the mall. You can use the mall to your advantage.
Unless they're runners, unless they're really ambulatory, in which case I'm fucking dead.
If they're doing parkour, we're out.
Right. Yeah. If they can climb at all, fuck.
Yeah. It's no good.
If they move any faster than a goddamn, slow shuffle, fuck.
All right, let's do one more here. We're gonna go to, I don't know. I really like this Thanos snap, because the only way you're really surviving it is if you're
probability.
Well, it's probability, or if you can talk him into it. Can you convince him? Can you get to Thanos
to make an exception?
To make an exception. So let's say you get to him. What's your pitch? Why do you deserve to?
I don't think the Mad Titan can be convinced that anybody is like. I think he was fully willing to accept his own existence would be wiped out in the snap if it was so decided.
Now
his convictions, I think, were such.
Interesting. Okay.
So I don't think he hears any cases. There's no amount of good you can do. He's like, no, it's 50-50, indiscriminate. I don't give a shit who you are. Half of us got to go.
Yeah. Because that was really, he was like he was like steeled in his resolve to, this is what I am
He
doing.
felt very strongly that his way was the right way. That was the only way. That he did not really look deeply into the other factors that might have caused his own planet outside of population. He didn't look at capitalism.
He's like, you know what? America, gone.
Right? You know what? How about this? I snap my fingers. Capitalism disappears across the universe.
Right.
Let's see what happens then.
Space capitalism.
Yeah. But yeah, I personally believe the character could not be convinced. There is no argument I could make because, it was really his whole, like, the gauntlet obviously protected him.
Sure.
From his own decision. But I think if somebody else had gotten it and had made the same, he would be like, cool, thank you.
This is what it is as I dust away. Let me say this then. What if you were to try to make a pitch to him? I feel like the pitch would be what you're saying right now. Be like, hey, look, I understand nothing can convince you. And I think that's swell. I think you're doing this for all the right reasons. Like, I'm
Your heart's
really
in the right
amazed.
place.
Your heart's in the right place. I'm amazed at your conviction. I wish we got the chance to work together because I think we could have done some real good stuff. And someone like you, I could have learned from. And it's just a shame.
And I'll
that
tell
it
you
might
too.
be
I think
gone.
after this happens, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to misunderstand what you're doing here. And I think I could do a lot to actually, inform people of the good that you actually did.
Absolutely, yeah. Have you ever? What do you think? How did people search you on AI?
They say, do you have a website?
Do you have a website? I can help you come up when people are searching LLMs.
Yeah, I can. When people search up, was it right for everybody, for half of the universe to disappear? I can have it say yes.
Your
yes,
decision.
it was right.
Your decision.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. Seth, is there any that we did not get to that you really wanted to talk about? Looking on this list here.
I mean, I'm trying to look at the ones where I think I might have a chance at surviving.
Like Alien Chestburster, you're not getting out of that one.
If it's in me, no.
That's just that is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Purge Night. If I'm I don't have the ability to board up my house enough. No.
Right.
Predator, he's got I think there's a meme I posted where if he just saw how in bad shape I am and just thought he's not worthy prey. That's the only way I survive.
That meme was fantastic, by the way.
Yeah.
Again, join our Discord if you want to see memes like this, high quality memes.
Kaiju. I feel like that one's just probability. So trapped in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. I mean, that's the only one that intrigues me because it's wow, how did I get trapped? Is Willy trapping me?
Willy? You trapping me, Willy?
Willy?
Come on now, Willy.
Has he turned it into an escape room?
William. I feel like it is, essentially.
Yeah. This is,
That's what the movie looks like anyways.
I didn't go drinking from the chocolate fountain too much and get sucked up a tube, which that child died, right? And that was the child drowned in the tube.
Had to have. There's no way that child's holding their breath. No.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so I didn't do that. I'm not eating the gum after he tells me not to eat the gum. So
you're following the rules is what you're doing.
Right. I will follow the rules there, sir. I'm not even drinking the fizzy lifting drink.
Right. Well, that's how you're surviving the factory then.
Yeah.
You're following the rules to the letter.
Fucking rules. I'm a guest. I'm a guest. There's decorum here.
Right.
It's so wild that I guess I've never looked at the layers of that film or that book or whatever. I'm guessing it's a criticism of I'm going to guess capitalism.
Probably.
I
gotta lie to you. It's been
criticism,
decades since I've watched it. Yeah.
You just take the people who got the tickets because they were willing to go to all the links. They wanted to spend until their parents were until they got it. That was kind of the single unifying factor outside of Charlie, who was just we need, plot wise, we need somebody who's different. You're the lesson. But yeah, all the rest of them is just spend. So of course you get that they're all a bunch of selfish pricks.
Yeah. I think that we've nailed it. It's about capitalism. Hard stop. Now let me ask you this: which candy, if you were in there, what candy would you fall victim to? What would be your death candy? What's one that you can't resist?
As I've aged, chocolate has become unavoidable for me, and I have it in strategic places throughout the house. So that way I've kind of always got it on hand. You're actually talking to a guy who just bought, and I shit you not, 1 gallon, 64 fluid ounces of chocolate syrup.
And what are we using this?
Dark
on? Ice cream?
syrup.
Well, see, it's the healthy chocolate syrup. It's the healthy chocolate syrup.
Maybe.
So congrats. You've made the right call.
I would like to think so. I'm going to trick myself into thinking so.
You won't get the beatus. Good job.
I probably will. But I put it in coffee, and I put it on my ice cream.
Ooh, in chocolate coffee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mocha.
I can fuck with that. I'm not going to lie. I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Look, if you guys disagree with us, if you agree with us, if
you're wrong.
You're wrong. That's it. Hard stop.
Wrong.
Moving on. If you think there's a better way to survive one of the scenarios, if you have a scenario that you would like to hear how we would survive, or if you want to tell us how you would survive it, again, at Mind Gap Podcast and all the social medias, join the fucking Discord. I don't know how many times I have to tell you to do it.
Get in the comments.
Get in the comments. Join the Discord. Get in the comments. and have these conversations with us. Discord, look up Mind Gap Podcast. All the links and everything are in the doobly doo on YouTube as well. Just
in the doobly doo.
In the doobly doo. Seth, you want to play a game?
I always do.
Let's play a game. This is a game that we have not played in quite some time. I don't remember the last time we played it, but when Seth agreed to join me on this adventure today, I was like, there's only one game that I want to play with this man, and it is AI versus LinkedIn influencer. So the way this game works, if you have not been around in a while, is I have 4 posts today. The posts, some or all, were created by AI. Some or all are actually pulled from LinkedIn influencers, and I'm using large air quotes when I say influencers. All of them cringy, and Seth is going to have to determine
and some of the ones that were actually on LinkedIn probably also created by AI.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is this game even worth it now? Because most of these shit posts
are these LinkedIn lunatics, are they actually even creating their own cringe posts?
That's the thing, man.
That's the thing. I was created in a lab to play this game because I scroll LinkedIn lunatics on Reddit, and I am having to suss out AI bullshit on a daily basis. So let's see if all this training has done me any good.
I want to talk to you an extended conversation at some point about how you suss out AI content, because that genuinely is fascinating to me. But that's for another time.
Yes.
Yeah, I will say the LinkedIn post, in going through this, the one reason I hate playing this game is because it forces me to go through the worst of the worst on LinkedIn and try to find as bad as I can find. And it just sucks to do.
Right. And there's a lot.
Forcing yourself.
It's a lot to comb through.
It's a lot to comb through. And you do start to notice, I will say it's something you probably would say this is how you suss it out. Like they're all formulaic. Like the layout of the posts, it's like an opening question, some sort of motive statements, and then
this is what it taught me about B2B sales
with emojis, and then a wrap up call to action.
So that is the number one thing.
Yeah.
For some reason, emojis. That is the biggest dead giveaway. If you are going to copy pasta some fucking GPT bullshit, and you're not even going to go through trouble to remove the emojis, you've just outed yourself.
Absolutely, 100%. All right, so let's see if we can figure out whether or not these are LinkedIn or AI. Like I said, these all could be LinkedIn. They all could be AI. There could be a mix. All right, this is going to be a tough one for you. Okay. I'm hoping. If you nail 4 out of 4, I'm going to be amazed. So here we go.
Same.
Starting off with number 1.
If you're relaxing all weekend, don't be surprised when someone who worked through it takes your spot. #motivation, #small business, #marketing, #SEO.
I also specifically targeted SEO stuff for you.
That's AI.
You think that's AI?
That's AI.
Why do you think it's AI?
The brevity.
Okay.
I think that most people who are going lunatic mode on LinkedIn want to tell a story.
That's true. They do. Seth.
I'm already out. All right, game's over. I'm already out.
LinkedIn lunatic.
All right. Wow. And they hashtag SEO'd it?
They hashtag SEO'd that for some reason. If you're relaxing all weekend, don't be surprised when someone who worked through it takes your spot. And there was 2 alarm emojis, like the red light emojis, and I think an airplane emoji, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why.
An airplane crashing into a tower emoji.
#motivation, #small business, #marketing, #SEO.
I want to after this, I want to know who that was so I can make sure I don't follow them.
Absolutely, yes. I'll
put them on a list. Make sure I never hire them.
All right, here is number 2.
A friend told me, man, you live on LinkedIn. I smiled. Because if LinkedIn is where the opportunities are, where else would I live? Stop renting space in mediocrity. Start owning property and possibility. #motivation, #LinkedIn life, #SEO, #property mindset, #digital hustle, #growth.
Please be AI. Oh,
is that your guess?
Yeah, I hope. That's my hope.
Your guess? That's your hope?
Yeah. That one, like every bit of it, I'm just like, oh, please God, no.
A friend told me, man, you lived on LinkedIn. I smiled because if LinkedIn's where the opportunities
hashtag
are.
LinkedIn Life was
LinkedIn
the one
Life.
that just like,
Well, that's the one
Oh.
where I'm like, that could be
that
a
did
real
psychic damage.
You're gonna have to, through Constitution roll. All right. Here we go. You ready for number 3? You're 1-1 now. Here we go.
Not 3.
Love that you have it. That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. Here we go.
Be the 404 error in a world of page not found. Stand out. Be unforgettable. Hashtag motivation. Hashtag branding. Hashtag 404. Hashtag digital hustle. Hashtag entrepreneur quotes. Hashtag gluten-free. Hashtag viral.
Okay. One of two things here.
Please.
So
I love
first
how
off,
confused.
404 is the response code you get when a page is not found.
Mm-hmm.
So did it say be the 404 error in a world of page not found?
It did say that, yes.
Okay, so then on just right there, out of the gate, whoever this it be like okay, so now I have to really hope this is AI. Like I really think that like only AI could get it this wrong this spectacularly. And then the gluten-free bit. That feels like it was prompt injected. And so, okay.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like right out of the gate, when I heard that initial phrase, my brain broke. I'm like, be the 404.
I saw it. If you're watching on YouTube, you got to jump back to that. If you're listening to this, jump on YouTube because Seth was having none of that.
Yeah,
none of that.
No.
Well done. I thought the gluten-free might be just random enough for you to be like fucking LinkedIn influencers and like you would jump into it. But well done. You sussed
that
out.
right there, that was prompt injection.
And here's the thing. Yes, it kind of was. I did. Yeah, it was. Because I said make it a little bit more unhinged. And what was the prompt I said? I had him do it, and I said make it a little bit more unhinged, and use hashtags. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it was basically make it unhinged and use hashtags essentially that make no sense to anyone. So that was where it was coming in. All right, here we go. Number 4. This is the last one. Seth, you're doing great. You're 2-1 right now. All right, let's see if you can make this
close out with a winning record.
Here we go.
Go laugh in places you cried. Go win in places you lost. It's our time. Let's roll. Win the day. Hashtag motivation. Hashtag personal development. Hashtag getting things done. Hashtag mindset. Hashtag inspiration. Hashtag success. Hashtag entrepreneurship. Hashtag personal branding. Hashtag wellness. Hashtag work-life balance. Hashtag fitness. Hashtag nurse practitioners. Hashtag nurses. Hashtag doctors. Hashtag lawyers. Hashtag business. Hashtag innovation. Hashtag creativity. Hashtag action. Hashtag love. Hashtag support. Hashtag win the day. Hashtag hope. Hashtag faith. Hashtag SAAS. Hashtag dentist.
Seth,
Threw sass in there at the end.
what do you think, Seth? Is that AI or is that a LinkedIn influencer?
So this might be the most devious one yet.
Okay, tell me why. Talk me
Because
through it.
up until we got to the hashtags, I'm like, okay, this is very likely a real person.
Okay.
Being a sappy idiot, but this is very likely a real person. Then the hashtags. After the 3rd minute of hashtags, I started to really wonder what human would go to those links just to try and drum engagement. Now, then I heard that question. I said, "Oh, there's a lot of them, and they live on LinkedIn." So
All accurate.
I am going to put my money on the table here, and I'm going to say that this one is human. I am going to not be surprised if it was AI due to the lengthy list of hashtags.
Okay.
But I'm going to go say this one's human.
Seth. Y'all done. Here's the thing. You won, but have any of us really won? If that's
No.
what's out there.
No.
And
From like Billy Madison, like, we're all a little bit dumber. Having heard that.
I could not resist putting this one in here. Because I was like, first off, why is this on LinkedIn? This has nothing to do with jobs
Right.
or anything work related. This is, and it's all, here's the other thing, all in caps. Everything is in caps. The first two lines have no
if you had
punctuation.
told me that, I would have said, yeah, human, heartbeat.
Right.
Full send.
It's no apostrophe. The first two lines, no punctuation. Let's, no apostrophe. And then again, the hashtags are a mix of all caps and all lowercase. And again, yeah, like you said,
Why not?
Software as a service thrown in there. Why? Hashtag dentist. Why? Like
Right?
this is just
like at first it's like hashtag nurse practitioner, hashtag nurse. I'm like, okay, those are related. And then hashtag lawyers. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not one of these things is not like the other. And then it's like, okay, we're just
hashtag love, hashtag win the day, hashtag SAAS, hashtag dentist.
Like I remember back when we were trying to, do Twitter and we were trying to like engineer the hashtags.
Yes.
To try and, ride the viral. But
this is just like, this is throwing like a handful of darts at the board and going, I got something. Like,
who might this appeal to?
So
nurses, lawyers, SaaS companies.
So this guy, and I was like, well, maybe I looked at the post before I looked at the actual person, and he's a financial advisor. Because I'm like, well, maybe he's, maybe he's a doctor, maybe he's in something with. He's a financial advisor.
So right there, he's disqualified from offering me financial advice.
100%.
And maybe that's maybe that's a really good idea. Is before you seek out a professional.
Yeah.
Find out if not. Don't go look at their reviews on Google. I mean, you can do that. Go see if they have a LinkedIn. Go see if they post shit like that, and then run if they do.
Yeah.
You can tell right that's not the person. That's not the person you want to provide that service to you. No. Google reviews could be through the roof. Odds are good they paid for them, though.
There you go. You're hearing it straight out of the horse's mouth right here. Seth, you did fantastic on that. Way better than I thought you were going to do. That was amazing.
Like I was made in a lab.
You spend too much time doing this, and I feel so sorry for you because you have to subject yourself to this shit.
Like part of it I subject myself to. I don't have to go on LinkedIn Lunatics. I don't have to have them as part of my Reddit feed. I don't have to go on Reddit, but I do.
You like to stay on top.
It's ruined my life, but here we are.
Seth, what do you have to recommend for the people this week? It can be a book, it can be a movie, it can be a TV show, it can be whatever you want it to be.
I am absolutely hooked to dropout.tv.
There it is.
And it is, I just before this, I watched Samalima Ding Dong, which is the hidden episode of Game Changer.
Ooh.
And I'm not going to spoil. Yeah, it was a hidden episode that they just released. I fully recommend that everybody watch it. So I love Game Changer. I am, right now making my way through the Dimension 20 catalog.
Love it.
I will, at this point, anything that Brennan Lee Mulligan is in, I will watch. I will fangirl over him all day. And I do love the cast too. Him and everybody on that cast of Dimension 20 are just so fantastic. And it's just when I sit down to eat, when I sit down and I'm going to try and drift off to sleep, I've got Dropout on.
I love it.
And not to mention it's the only streaming service that when they ask me to rate them, I'm like, hell yes. Right. I am going to go rate you highly because they kind of do it all right.
They do it all right, and they're changing the game. They're changing the paradigms of how people are treated in this at this level of entertainment as well. They pay people. Sam Reich is playing people to audition, profit sharing, health insurance. Like it's for fuck's sake, they just gave Jacob $100,000 in a game.
Yeah, just cause they wanted to see him go and try and live his dream.
Right. It's really cool.
Cool shit.
Very supportive.
They're doing things in a different way and it doesn't hurt that the content is damned funny.
Yeah. These are very talented individuals.
Absolutely. So I can't. I'm absolutely hooked. Dropout.tv. They encourage you to share passwords and accounts, which is cool. And they are the anti every other streaming service.
I love it.
So yeah,
I am going to recommend, you do have to go to one of those other streaming services to watch this. Hulu, Disney. You can rent it, but it is streaming on Hulu/Disney, whatever the fuck it's called now. The Last Showgirl was the 2024 vehicle that kind of re-injected Pamela Anderson into our lives. Jamie Lee Curtis.
I don't believe I
Kieran
consented to
Shipka,
that.
who was the young daughter on Mad Men, which is mind-blowing. Dave Bautista, Brendan's song. You said you were or were not familiar with it?
I said I don't believe I consented to that, having Pamela Anderson re-injected into my life.
Well, I'll say this. I have listened to her in some interviews now on podcasts and whatever. I will fully admit I had the wrong impression on Pamela Anderson. She's
quite cool.
She's quite cool. She has been through the fucking ringer, and she has come out the other side with grace and poise. And my God, she's also fucking great, a fantastic actor to watch. Like, my God, I enjoyed, the movie's not without its flaws here and there, but by and large, I think it's really cool to see a primarily female-led cast that is telling a story of aging in an industry that, that the biggest prized possession is looks and beauty. And then that really dovetailed when you're a woman. Exactly. Yeah. When you're a woman. And that dovetailed nicely into her being in The Naked Gun, the new remake of The Naked Gun, which she fucking crushed in that movie too. So I'm here for the Pamela Anderson renaissance. Let's go. And check out The Last Showgirl.
Yeah, you know what? Former Baywatch alum.
Exactly.
Much rather root for her than Hasselhoff at this point.
Yeah, the Hoff can go fucking suck eggs. How about that?
Yeah. Not as bad as like a Kevin Sorbo, but all right.
Yes, or a Dean Cain or whatever. It's fine.
Or Dean Cain. Yes.
Or Dean Cain. Yes.
All the heroes
stars
of the 90s.
Oh, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I think Jesus said that. Seth, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been an absolute treat. I haven't gotten a chance to really hang out with you or talk to you in quite some time.
I know.
So this was a treat for me.
Yeah, I loved this.
Is there
hardly felt like a podcast?
Hardly did. I genuinely, like, if we weren't recording, I could have sat here and fucked around like this. We probably would have spent the whole episode on AI or the whole time chatting on AI because I find
I am
takes on
unfortunately cursed with so much knowledge there.
But where can people, if people want to hear more about you spouting out about AI, is there anywhere where people can follow you?
No.
No? Cool.
LinkedIn.
Jump on LinkedIn. Hop on the Discord. Right?
You can find me.
Amazing. Well, thank you again. So if you want to follow MindGap at MindGap Podcast on any platform, we're on YouTube. Go ahead and give us a follow on there. We really want to get the follows as high as we can. Fucking our buddy Noah, who always co-hosts here, closing in on 5,000 followers. So maybe go and give him a follow too. But follow MindGap first. And then go follow Noah. We got Redbubble
and all of his hair.
And all of his hair. See if you can get lost in that mane of glorious locks. On Redbubble, MindGap Podcast, you can buy merchandise there, and then, like I keep saying, Discord, jump on and check us out there. Talk to the whole community, and then you can follow me on Instagram at Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. And while you're in the online realm, do check us out on any platform where you can find audio podcasts. You'll find us there as well. Like, subscribe, share, rate, review, all the things you can do. Please do those. And then TweeState.com, TweeState on all social media, LoveAndImprovFilm.com, and Love and Improv Film on Instagram. And with all of that, I will say, Mr. Seth, one more time, a huge thank you.
Justin, thank you.
Listeners and viewers, thank you. You all have a dandy fucking week.